Hey team, Patrick here. In this lesson, I'm going to give you a really simple way of looking at what technical changes you might need to make to your strokes if you're struggling to control the ball and what might be causing these mistakes, as certain errors are often misunderstood by players and even coaches. So hopefully this will be really helpful for players of all levels, from beginners to the more advanced levels, to recap these fundamentals. So let's get into it. The acronym we'll use today is PASS, which stands for path, angle, and speed. And it's understanding that no matter how good we get at tennis, we can only influence these elements. And if you were doing your level 1 coaching course, this is what we teach new coaches on day 1. Are you going to change a player's path, their angle, their speed? And this applies to all strokes, ground strokes, volleys, serves. But in this lesson, I'll use the example of a topspin ground stroke. To me, the path, the angle, and the speed is technique. These are the anchor points, the fundamentals, and are carried through at all stages and levels of tennis. Remember, tennis is a game, and games need tactics. It's all about manipulating the ball, and our technique is a way to perform these tactics. So the path, the angle, and the speed bridges the gap between our technique and our tactics. So it's not all about hitting these fixed shapes or trying to mimic certain pros, as everyone is built and will move in a different way. I tried to mimic Federer as a junior, and I clearly didn't get very far with that. So focusing on the path, the angle, and the speed gives us what we call these more adaptive skills. So the path is the direction my racket is moving as I make contact with the ball. And this will determine the spin. A low to high path for topspin, high to low for slice, for backspin, or I could hit more through the ball on a more level path to flatten the stroke out, and even come across the ball to hit with side spin. Remember the phrase, the face sends it, but the path bends it. So the path is responsible for the flight and the curve. The angle of my racket face at contact will determine the direction the ball leaves my strings. So if I'm creating topspin, I must have been swinging up on a low to high path, or it's impossible to get this spin. But if I'm still hitting the ball in the net with topspin, then the angle of my racket face was too closed, and I need to open the racket face. But if I'm hitting too high, but again with topspin, I need to close the angle of the racket face, but maintain the same path. This is how we hit a lower topspin shot with what I call like a mini rainbow, up and down. Or a higher topspin shot, like a topspin lob. They both have an upwards path, but I change the angle of the racket face. And if I miss wide, side to side, again, it's the angle of the racket face that's sending the ball crooked. And I might be contacting the ball too far in front or too far behind. If, however, I miss in the net or long, and the ball had a very flat and level trajectory with no arc or curve, and I want more rotation, then the angle of my strings was good, and I need to change the path. I like to say the ball never lies, and I must have started and finished on too much of the same plane, and I need to get more under the ball to achieve a topspin swing path, where my intention is to get up the back of the ball with a more vertical path. If you've got good directional control and you're hitting with this rainbow-like curve with good rotation and you're still hitting the net, then you need more speed. Remember, generally, we should be accelerating into the ball. That's the rhythm. The rhythm is very important. It's slow to fast, and you can hear the racket cutting through the air. I reference players like Federer and now Bandian, and that's how they were able to look so smooth. If you've not got good rhythm, you're going to struggle with your timing and knowing when to hit the ball. If you're at the more beginner level and you're missing long, then I would reduce the speed so you can keep your technique. But if you're at the more advanced level, then we don't want to take away speed, we want to add spin, as more speed equals more spin. And there will be times where we're looking to decelerate and take speed off the ball on something like a drop shot, for example. Now the path, the angle and the speed all influence each other. And I might need to change more than one element at the same time. For example, I might need to change the path and racket face angle to hit a topspin forehand cross court. But hopefully this simplifies what you need to work on in your own game to be more consistent. And if it has, then please leave the video a like, comment down below and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you on court in the next one. Cheers, guys.